What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
Greetings to you, Your Excellency, President Hakainde Hichilema. Today, I have prayed in my heart that I could be as calm as possible. I know that sometimes when I talk to you, I am overwhelmed by my emotions, and you can understand, sometimes these issues are overwhelming me. I want to state from the onset, Vakateka, find time to sit down with the Association of Citizen-Owned Pharmaceutical Companies. Abama locals abachita supply ama pharmaceutical products, nangule miti and all that. Badipangaka association, they call it the Association of Citizen-Owned Pharmaceutical Companies. And it will take you to sit down with them to understand what is going on. Let me start by stating this. Your Minister of Finance in the 2025 budget, Your Excellency, came to Parliament and budgeted 5 billion kwacha in medical procurements. So we did approve a budget that has got 5 billion kwacha worth of or rather that is going to go towards the procurement of medical supplies. Now, Ishimpia, Your Excellency, ordinarily should go to the locals. You engage the locals, different companies and individuals to go on the market and buy the medical supplies. Okay? I'll tell you one fact that you must know, Your Excellency. The companies around the world who manufactures drugs or medical equipment, okay, meaning that if you engage me as Binwell to supply Panado, there are specific companies to go and get that Panado to supply to ZAMSA. Even if you engage a foreigner, they will also go to the same companies. Okay, that's a fact. These manufacturers are the same. Now, we have 3 classes of businessmen, Vakateka. We have citizen-owned companies, we have local companies, and we have foreign companies. The local companies are not per se citizens. They could be companies that are just registered here, but they are owned by foreigners. Then we also have foreign companies. The law, the Public Procurement Act, Your Excellency, dictates that if you are going to engage a foreign company to do business in Zambia, ZAMSA engages a company to supply medical stuff or supplies, that company, the foreign company, must partner with a local. You are aware there's a complaint in this correspondence I've seen. There's a company called Mission Pharma that has been supplying health center kits. This company is completely foreign, and this company does not manufacture these health center kits. Health kits. They buy from different suppliers and then they package, they create a health kit. That can be done even by the locals. What that will mean is that you would have been spending that money amongst your own fellow citizens to be doing that job. But ZAMSA ko bapela fyoiwine Mission Pharma, who is a foreign company who has not even partnered with a local. That is an anomaly. It's a breach of the Constitution as dictated for in Public Procurement Act, Section 89. Now I'll tell you last year in October, ZAMSA gave out contracts for supply of surgicals. Companies, about 10 companies were given contracts. Now, in contractual terms, I know Bakateka, you may not understand this because you are an executive, but if it were artificial, goes to Ipovatamanga at some point. So, there is a delivery period and a contractual period. Usually when you are given a contract, there will be a delivery period. Nga wafiro kushita deliver within that period, they cannot terminate a contract because the contract is still going on. There is a contractual period. Now what happens is that if the procurement would want you or feels you have failed to perform, all they would do is to charge you liquidation damages for exceeding the delivery period. But remember, there are two things. There is a delivery period and a contractual period. Terminate contract within the delivery, or rather the contractual period. What I am reading here, okay, a correspondence from the Association of Citizens-Owned Pharmaceuticals. This letter, interestingly, by President, I know it may not have come to it because it was written to the ZAMSA, it was copied to the Health Minister, it was copied to the Commerce Minister, it was copied to the Attorney General, it was also copied to the Secretary to Cabinet and the Presidential Delivery Unit, meaning that all your people bakateka nabalishibediash. But I know that balamifisa tabamieba, so that is why naisa mukuzala to tell famieba dionse bakateko but mumwabere mwali babuino nomba abantu mubomba nabo tababa buino. So 10 local companies were given, contract to supply surgicals or medical staff. Baba pera mu October for their contract, and the delivery period was supposed to be 2 months. 1 month down the line, ZAMSA calls them for a meeting to change specifications. No, if to amiebele no change any apa, ordinarily what that will mean is that contract ya lamba. Now remember, ababantu after you give them these contracts, they would have gone to order from the suppliers. And in 1 month is a long period, manufacturers would have already started manufacturing these specified, medical stuff. But 1 month down the line, ZAMSA calls these suppliers to change specifications. And then ZAMSA asks these suppliers to now write to commit what time, or rather to commit what time they could deliver. But before long, ZAMSA goes and terminates the contract within the 2 months. From October, the contracts. If ichitike bakateka is that most of these suppliers, some of them ama products yali ambire no kuisa bamwe na ku South Africa, but their contracts have been terminated. These are local, your own people. They are not PF suppliers. They are latest suppliers. These are your own people. Their contracts have been supplied. Remember, Kongola, no Kongola, Kutuma banks, they got loans to go and service these loans. ZAMSA changes just like that, without due regard for the rules, cancels these contracts. Bakateka. Chino chalo, for the wealth of this country, for this country is worth to be proper. Kano, we are investing in our own citizens. Can you imagine, Your Excellency, that 5 billion that we budget or appropriated at Parliament, shidempia to pangirosho to kata spend on buying medical related stuff, we spent that money amongst the local suppliers. You can imagine how many people would have their livelihood transformed. Now, what sort of a country are we going to be? Because you see, we've got a number of these suppliers, even ZAMSA. There are over 200 local suppliers. And I mean citizen suppliers, because there's a difference between local and citizen. There are over 200, citizen suppliers who are registered with ZAMSA. If you compare that number to local suppliers, these are foreigners who have established their companies here, as well as the foreign companies. You find that the number of local suppliers and foreign companies is very small. But go and ask how much business is given to these local, rather citizen companies compared to how much business is given to these foreign companies. The same thing is what happens. I remember when I was district commissioner, I used to challenge Bamopani on these same things. They would tell you, no, money suppliers, local, look at this database. But when you look at the quantums, how much business is given to the locals compared to the few foreigners, you find that the quantums are at serious variance. FHG ka kuzamsa oku. Bakateka inechonala lomba kofe for you to get first-hand information. Summon this association. Pakuti mumfwe, because it will make you proud to leave office knowing you have empowered the locals. Before we can even talk about what Donald Trump has done with the, the change of direction vis-a-vis the aid that they give to us, we have our own budgets. The budget towards supply of medicines. This money, if, given to the locals, if I were you, the president, through your ministers of health, I would ensure that ZAMSA gives 100% contracts to the locals, unless we want to buy direct from manufacturers, unless we want, or rather, there are certain things that the locals cannot afford to supply. What could happen is that you'll have a meeting with this association. You ask them, these are things that we are going to buy in a year as ZAMSA. What of these are you able to supply as local companies, or rather citizen companies? And what sort of these supplies, or rather needs, are you not able? So that those stuff they are not able to supply, if you mwapela kuma local companies and kuma foreign companies, but already ensure that the law as it dictates, you don't give a foreign company without requiring that it partners with the locals. This is how we can create wealth, in the citizens. Because wakateka, you don't know. If intuna pena kunsioku, Zambians have lost hope. Businessmen have closed their businesses. President. Filamu atwebe atina mchitari zovmo, panitapari fia chitikapo nangu fimo. There is no money that has come to Mopani. Wufi bakateka ngabala mibepa abena kabuswe ba mibepa feta kwa bapo MPSha isa. Batu zembere kefye. Baleta kofi otuma payments. Katuchinga kandala mangani. Ngalika kongore nganika loan kaya bapokere. Bapela koba cancel and a few suppliers that were paid. There is nothing that is happening at Mopani. In fact, the little to my businesses that are happening, of course they can do that. They can buy a press singers because having a press singers, let them also enjoy something. Because for us, we delight in Zambians getting chances. If you ask the businessmen on the copper belt about Mopani, Your Excellency, there's nothing happening. Me, I live in Nkana and I interact with all these businessmen. They are the same people that sponsored me in the elections. There's nothing happening at Mopani Bakateka. That is the same mentality to kwete kuzamsoko. Your Excellency, you need to intervene in the issue of ZAMSA. That 5 billion kwacha that we have budgeted towards the supply of medical staff should be given to the locals unless things that the locals cannot supply. These Zambians whose contracts have been terminated, bakateka, people are committing suicide. Once you default, they will come and get your property because other than getting very expensive money at the banks, because Your Excellency, that to get a loan at the bank, the interest rates are extremely over the roof today. Remember, we are going to work on the interest. But Dani Kaliari and Bamusokotwani are actually pushing the interests up every now and then through their changes or the changes they are making to the policy monetary rate. Now, so you have these local suppliers who are going to the bank to get this very expensive money. Umuntu ayachita procure to Fintuko after being given a contract. 1 month down the line, his contract is terminated. You can imagine the anguish that we are throwing people into Bakateka. This is not politics. I'm here to help you. If you navigate around this problem, it will help you. Abantu bakamitasha ukwebat you are a listening president. I am saying this because Bakateka abantu mwapela na laweke shapo taba mutemwa. They are there to only enrich themselves. Apa na banonka. In fact, when we open parliament, I'm going to push for, that we agree for lifestyle audit, because nimbona abantu benwala na banonka bale kula ma mansions elo ku Dubai kuna abashitotuma property. That is what they are doing, conniving with foreign companies. They are even abrogating the law. Okay, foreign companies are supposed to partner with the locals. Benefit about fikonka no kufikonka. Please tell that ZAMSA DG that business, if you photo watch 3 approve pia for parliament, was so that this money can go to uplift the locals who are engaged in supply business. But you contracts. They want to give to foreign companies. Before they give to foreign companies, Vakateka, can you intervene? Those people deserve to be treated better. They are Zambians. This is the only country where foreigners and they end up going back with the a massacre yandarama. The same way if you chitike kula kudio courage we tulio tubantu twasa tatoa kwa tapo nendalama twasa bule mpia shesu shakunapsa twamba nokubomba mwatupera nama targets ya mwa bapera bamba nokulabo mfie mpia shesu shapama targets to even do that road. You know, Your Excellency, that the real meaning of PPP is that people must come with their own money because government does not have money. So we cannot allow that situation, Your Excellency. If in them it's because I love you, Bakateka, and I would want you to succeed. Of course, I would like to be president one day, but that is not at your expense or at the expense of the country. What we want is you to succeed, because when you succeed, you are going to make a country better, so that never in case of a president, nishichalo nachimoneka nachiwama, not in case ingira mama problems. That is why I will do everything to alert you of what's going on and to advise you what must be done. Can we correct this issue at ZAMSA? Can we for once prioritize the interests of the Zambian citizens? Your Excellency, enjoy your weekend na Tottenham Kwai.
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.